So on to problem number 9 of the MIT Integration Big Offer exam 2016, which is the indefinite integral of e to the power x cosine x minus e to the power x sine x. Let's see how we may be able to solve this. It's actually a very simple problem, but let's see how we may be able to solve it. So method 1, we're integrating e to the power x times cosine x minus e to the power x times sine x, right? And what we can clearly see here is that e to the power cosine x plus e to the power x derivative of cosine x. So negative sine x is the same as the derivative of cosine x. But we can also see that here this is the same as the derivative of e to the power x, such that our problem can be expressed as the derivative of e to the power x cosine x plus e to the power x derivative of cosine x. And so we know very well that if you have two functions u and v, product of u and v is the same as u, the derivative of v, plus v, the derivative of u. This is the formula for the derivative of a product of two functions. So if, for example, in this instance, this is v, it corresponds with this, and if this is u, corresponds with this. And so we can express our integral as the derivative of the product of e, x, and cosine x. Now, if we're integrating the derivative of a function, then the answer is the same as ex cosine x plus c, right? So in other words, e to the power x cosine x minus e to the power x sine x is the same as e to the power x cosine x plus c. That is our answer. So that's method 1. What about method 2? Yes. So if we have e to the power x cosine x minus e to the power x sine x dx, and we express it as two separate integrals, I'll use blue here. Such that we have the integral of e. Let's delete that so that looking at this, we have derivative of e to the power x cosine x, and then maintain what we have on this side in the second part. So if our problem is the derivative of e to the x cosine x dx, and then minus e to the x sine x, we can now focus on this part, and we can use integration by parts. The product of v and the derivative of u is the same as uv minus u dv, such that if u is e to the power x and v is cosine x, then the yellow integral becomes e x cosine x minus the integral of ex, the derivative of v, which is cosine x, right? And then we shall keep the blue as it is. So keep the blue as it is, minus the integral of ex sine x. So this is same as e to the power x cosine x minus ex, the derivative of cosine x is negative sine x. Okay. Okay, so we have two negative sign, this and this. So if we now come here, we can now express it like as e to the power x times cosine x plus the integral of ex sine x. But then we have to write the blue one, which is ex sine x. And as we can see, we can use the reds, this and that will cancel. So this allows us to have our answer as ex cosine x plus c. In other words, e to the power x cosine x minus e to the power x sine x is the same as integrated, is the same as e to the power x cosine x plus the integration constant. Okay, and that's our answer.